Joe Pavelski and Scott Gomez were inducted into the USA Hockey Hall of Fame this past weekend, so stick taps for them. And concluding the Saturday game, the Sharks placed Will Smith and Philip Kurashev on the IR. No timelines given on their injuries. That being said, Igor Chernishev and Ethan Cardwell have been recalled to the Sharks. The Sharks lose to the Flyers 4-1, but then they turn things around on Thursday against Toronto and get the overtime win 3-2 here. They were down 2-0. Klingberg pots the tying goal with under 90 seconds left in the third, and Wenberg finishes the job in overtime. That is Sam's win of the week. And then the greatest game in Sharks history, I would argue here, was Saturday against Pittsburgh. Toffoli opens the scoring in the first period, and then Pittsburgh proceeds to score 5 goals after that, leading with 5-1 with 12 minutes left in the third. Then all of a sudden, Klingberg gets a goal. Eklund scores to close the gap. And then the Sharks pull the goalie. Celebrini scores with 2.5 minutes left. But we got to talk about how it all changed momentum after Will Smith got checked into the boards and his shoulder got separated. As Sam put it, everything changed because Macklin Celebrini stood up for his boy and immediately just started a fight. Got into the sin bin himself here. And then all of a sudden proceeds to turn the switch, scores with 2.5 minutes left on the clock. Then Toffoli ties it with less than a minute later. And then in overtime, Klingberg gives the give and go with Celebrini, and Klingberg scores the game-winning goal to end that game. Randy Hahn said it was one of the greatest games. He's crying on air while he's giving the announcement onto it. I mean, Sam, I'm so glad that you have embarked this journey with us.
Oh, we got Vince back, I believe.
Yeah, we're so fucking back, baby. All right.
There you go.
Okay.
So Vince was in the penalty box for fighting the internet.
That's right. I
4
had
minutes.
I had 5 for fighting. Yeah. 5 hours for fighting. Apparently, I don't know, man. So yeah, on this game, speaking of 5, in terms of the latest 4-goal comeback wins in NHL history, this is the 5th latest. When the comeback starts, this is the 5th latest a comeback has started from down 4 goals in NHL history. Do you want to play a little game and guess the other 4 teams to come back from who started their comeback later in the game?
Is it probably the original
one of them?
What?
Was the Sharks also one?
No. This is the Sharks. This is the latest. These are all regular season games.
Okay.
I would say I'm gonna guess one of the originals. So I'm gonna say the Maple Leafs.
You know what? Actually, there are no original 6 teams on this list. I'll give you that hint.
Oh, okay.
The Kings.
I have one.
Oh, the Kings. Yes, the Kings have the number 1 spot. They started their 4-goal comeback. The comeback started at 52 minutes and 46 seconds into the game. The Sharks started theirs 47 minutes and 33 seconds into the game. When their second goal, I guess, started. To start their comeback. Okay. So the Kings are number 1 on that list. Okay. So you got 2, 3, and 4, and the Sharks are 5 in that list. So
I'm gonna guess.
And that Kings game was in 2007. That was November 10th against Dallas.
Is the Coyotes in there?
No, they are not. All of these teams currently exist.
Okay. Dallas Stars.
Dallas Stars is another one. Yes, they are number 3 on the list. They did it against Ottawa in 1993, October 21st. That was also a 6-5 win in overtime. That started 50 minutes and 1 second.
Tampa Bay.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think Lightning. Ooh,
nope, no Lightning. No Lightning.
What about the other Florida, the Panthers?
Nope. The other 2 happened before any of these. So these are older teams.
Chicago Blackhawks.
Nope. That's an original 6 team, not on the list. Oilers in the chat. Nope, not correct.
No Avalanche, huh? Okay. My last guess, only because I want to make sure we get
Yeah.
moving here.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say my last guess is oh gosh, not one of the originals. Okay. My last guess, St. Louis, the St. Louis Blues.
Nope, but I'll give you the other two. The Buffalo Sabres were the second latest to start their comeback, 51 minutes and 25 seconds. They also did it against Pittsburgh in 1976 in March. And then the New York Islanders, 48 minutes and 21 seconds against the Devils in 1987. So
Wow.
there you go. So the Kings, Sabres, Stars, and Islanders all they're the only four teams that started a 4-goal comeback later in the game than the Sharks did. So there you go. Fun facts.
Very
Just
cool.
random crap that you find when you're like scrolling Instagram, and there you go. Thanks to NHL stats department for that one.
Okay, well, so as it stands, well, actually, you know what? I want to get Sam's thoughts on Saturday's game. I mean, me and you were watching that live, so what were your thoughts about after seeing that?
It was amazing, man. I did some work in the morning, so I get home and I realize the Sharks game is on, and as soon as I put it on, the fight just happened. So I'm like, "Oh my god, what's going on?" So I'm like rewinding the clicker, right? So I back up, get caught up on the fight. I see the Will Smith hit, and hopefully he's back this season, and it's not, obviously he's going to be out sometime, but hopefully he comes back this season. And then Macklin Celebrini just comes up instantly, takes a shot. Eklund is there. He's getting more shots. And the hit, it looked it it looked like a strong hit, right? But I didn't think it was high. I didn't think it was nasty. I actually thought Will Smith kind of had his hand out, maybe a little bit too far, like reaching for the puck. I don't think it was a bad nasty play. I think it was just a unfortunate play for the Sharks fans. However, that fight with Celebrini just ignited the team because he did his 4 minutes. He gets out and pow, immediately he's on an assist. They turn the game around. They get into overtime. They win it. I was absolutely pumped, dude. I was screaming from my couch every goal. Um, I did not think that they were going to get the win, but then when I was like, "Oh my god, they have a chance." And then when they tied it, I knew I knew we were going to get the win. As soon as they got the tie, I knew the Sharks were going to win it, either in regulation, overtime, or shootout. I knew. I hope the moment is um, not just a one game thing. I hope it turns into a season changing moment and they can put together a string of wins and become more consistent. But it was definitely an inspiring win. Definitely for the Macklin Celebrini era, it's like a defining win so far. And to do it against the Pittsburgh Penguins with Sidney Crosby, that was just incredible. That was just absolutely incredible. I was pumped. I was juiced. I loved every second of it.
Yeah, man, I think it felt like a passing of the torch. You know what I mean? Like just I mean, technically, we watched Pittsburgh dominate the Sharks in the Stanley Cup, and it just kind of felt like, this is our turn now. Now we get to be that team that the Penguins were, that so many years ago. But after the two wins this week, the Sharks are 16, 14, and 3. They're fifth in the Pacific with 31 points and eighth in the West over here. Playoff spot, baby. They made one. Our wins of the week, Sam, you and I are tied at 4. Vince has got a leg up on us at 5 wins.
That's
So
right.
the upcoming games this week. We have tomorrow against Calgary, which Calgary's, man, they a lot of promise for what that team was supposed to be, and it seems to be that they're struggling very hard this season. Then we have Thursday against Dallas, which I will be at that game. I'm very excited to be there. And then
Nice. You got good seats
Saturday,
for that too, right?
yeah, I got really good seats. I will be 5 rows up from the glass, so club
Bet.
level seats. So, um, and then Saturday against the Kraken here. So, Vince, in case your internet gremlin wants to come back here, we'll let you pick first here.
Yeah, sure. So I'm looking at Seattle and I'm looking at Calgary. Both of them are games that I kind of like I can go either one of them and feel pretty good about it. So I'm gonna I'm gonna take Seattle as my win of the week. Go
Okay.
ahead and plug me in. I'm gonna plug me in there.
Okay.
Uh,
Sam, given our football week here, I feel like I got to give you a bone here, so I'll let you go next here.
You know what? Calgary is inconsistent, so I could see that as a win.
Well, good, because I was gonna split the difference anyways on this one, but I'm glad it's the game that I'm going to, so I will take Dallas for sure.
all right. Hopefully they win all 3 games and it doesn't even matter.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, actually, no, let's rephrase that. Hopefully, they win against Calgary and Dallas, and then lose against Seattle, so me and Sam get back in the tie
No,
column
screw you. Win all 3. Doesn't matter.
there.
Real
Last
quick, guys, I just want to shout out. There's a there's a person in the chat, SGA Sports Talk. So he's a San Jose Sharks fan. He's going to be at both games. So
Oh, very cool.
welcome to
Oh,
the chat, dude.
nice.
I will.
Oh yeah,
I
he's
will maybe
got
potentially
San
see
Jose
you
winning 8-0 versus Seattle. Yeah, that's my dude right there.
there.
Yeah, I'm definitely all in on that.
Yeah. I'd love that. Get a couple of hat tricks from one from Celebrini and then
All 8 are from Celebrini.
uh, yeah, we'll call it a celebrate. I got to come up with a pun on this one. I'll
Celigoli.
workshop it.
Good try,
a,
dude. Good try.
a celebration.
Just delegate that to
We'll
your
call it a
7 clones
celebration.
that are still on my screen.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so just around the league, there's been a couple of big news things that happened. Quinn Hughes, defenseman was on Vancouver, he got traded on Friday to Minnesota. This is a huge trade. This is the kind of trade that is Joe Thornton level. Like when Joe Thornton came to the Sharks, this is that kind of a level. For those of you who are just kind of starting to dip your toes into hockey, this is huge. This is a guy who just won the Norris Trophy like fairly recently within the last couple of years. That's the top defenseman trophy of the year. He is huge, a huge player. He's gonna be a free agent in about a year and a half, and going from Minnesota to Vancouver in the trade is a couple of forwards, Marco Rossi, who was a 2020 first round pick. Liam Ogren was a
2022 first round pick, and then Zeev Biom, who was a 2024 first round pick and an unprotected 2026 first round pick as well too. So, yeah, to Vince's point, this is a very huge trade. Quinn Hughes, I think, is going to be something that's impressive for a long time. Vancouver really needed offensive help. I mean, they need a lot of help in all categories, given what their season's been like. But hopefully, this is what it takes to turn around what Vancouver's got going on here. So, also too, Edmonton traded for Tristan Jarry from Pittsburgh on Friday. In return, the Oilers sent the Penguins a goaltender in Stuart Skinner and defensive man Brett Kulak and a 2029 second round pick. So. Pittsburgh is also sending a 2019 first round pick, Samuel Poulin, to Edmonton in the deal. So that's also a pretty big trade shakeup. I am kind of curious. I think the Sharks are ahead of schedule, so I don't see any trades happening. But I am curious if they're going to flirt the idea of what they can get for William Eklund. Like what can you get a defensive player? I don't think they're going to move from Eklund, but given the pulse of the team and being around it, it kind of feels like, as much as I love Eklund, he might be on the outs of what this team possibly has going down the road here. So the last thing here was that Connor Bedard appeared to injure his shoulder in the closing seconds of Friday's game. That was crazy because there was only a few seconds left and he gets
it was like 0.8 of a second, man. Like
yeah,
it was like even less than a second. Like it was so weird.
It was a face-off, and he like gets checked to the ground, but like awkwardly falls on his shoulder, and
Mhm.
immediately just goes off the ice there. So, um, that sucks. It's very unfortunate. Hopefully, Connor Bedard, it's nothing super serious, and he can get back in no time. But yeah,
Yeah,
man, that's
they're
that's
they're
very
gonna
unfortunate.
reevaluate him in the new year. They said so in a couple weeks. He's gonna get reevaluated. We'll see what that does for.
His gremlins are so hardcore today, man. It's crazy. I don't think I've ever seen it this bad before, ever. Actually, it's never been this bad. So, yeah, we'll see what that's going to be like going into the to the new year here. So, um, Sam, before we move on between the Sharks here and we talk about our football season, any thoughts on the Sharks here? Are we thinking that Eklund's going to be moved at the end of the season?
I hope not. I really hope not. I like what they're developing. I would like to see some of the guys with the Barracudas, some defensemen come up
Hmm.
and see what happens with that. I think Eklund is fitting into I consider him kind of like one of the original pieces of like when this tear down and rebuild started. I know he's not in the class of Macklin Celebrini going, number one overall and being that transcendent talent. But I think he's still there's something to be said about having homegrown guys.
Yeah,
So I'm hoping that they do keep as many of their homegrown talent on the team. Um, I think there are some pieces that you can probably trade that aren't drafted Sharks players that you can trade and maybe get a defenseman. And as much as I want a defenseman here, like somebody that can really make a difference, I also, to play as devil's advocate, I ask myself, is this team one defenseman away from doing something serious in the playoffs? A young team is a dangerous team because there's no expectations. They don't know, but I think they're still more than just a defenseman player away. I think you need Michael Misa at his full powers. You need to see what he can do. So I'm going to trust in Mike Greer, man. If they make a
yeah,
trade and they bring in a solid defenseman, that'll be great. If they don't and they stand pat, or they make a minor trade. We've seen Mike Greer do this at all levels in different scenarios and add picks, add talent. So I'm going to trust him because he's earned that equity so far because the Sharks are ahead of schedule. So I'm going to give him that respect and trust him in the front office to make the right decision for this team.
yeah, agreed. Wholeheartedly agree with you there. I just think it would be behoove of the Sharks to just maybe it doesn't be publicly noted, but just see what's out there. Get a pulse. On what our talent could bring back to us as far as filling up some key positions for us. I'm not saying we have to trade him. I'm just saying just see what the market is for it. So, um,
Seeing like looking quickly, I'm gonna say this before I lose my internet again for whatever reason, before I get kicked out. But seeing what the Quinn Hughes return deal was, um, and what the Sharks have plenty in the cupboard. Basically, looking at what Minnesota gave up to get him, I think the Sharks probably it would have cost Sam Dickinson for Quinn Hughes. It would have cost one, maybe both of the 2026 first round picks, and then possibly one other piece. I don't know which other piece it would have been, but like a forward of some kind in the minors. And it doesn't have to be one of the highest rated forwards, but it has to be somebody that's kind of on the radar. But I think that's where what you would be looking at for somebody of Quinn Hughes's stature or whatever. And obviously, we like Sam Dickinson. We obviously he looks like he's gonna be a pretty good dude once he's like gets his feet wet and he's like there's a lot of promise there. But you never know until you actually see it, right? And here's
If
the thing,
all it
Quinn
cost me
Hughes.
was Sam Dickinson and a top forward, and maybe a draft pick, I'm probably pulling that trigger. I
Yeah,
think it
but
was probably
yeah,
more than that.
but it's like 2 first round picks and then something else, or
Yeah.
it was probably a little bit too steep. And also at that cost, you also have to be like have a guarantee that he's going to sign an extension as well. And being a West Coast team, his family's on the East Coast. Like all of his brothers are playing in New Jersey, and that's kind of the rumor where he kind of wants to play after. Like that's where he kind of maybe wants to go for after the fact. But so I don't know that was worth it to give up all of that just for a year and a half rental. So that's probably why the Sharks ended up not being in on it. But
Sure.
it's
I can see that.
yeah, and so that's kind of where I wanted to get my 2 cents in on that part. And the Tristan Jarry thing, he always starts off hot. He's made a couple of all-star teams, or like has been on the radar for international duty, but in the playoffs, he hasn't won a single series. He's like barely won like maybe like a couple of games. He's just like he starts off strong. He ends up playing like crap at the end of the year. So Edmonton, if he ends up being the starter by the end of this year, watch for Edmonton to flame out, and they're not even going to make the final if he's your starting goaltender. So that's my bold prediction early. So there you go. There's another bold prediction. Throwing that out there right now. There you go. Boom.